Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. If you're watching this video and it's Salah time, please pause it and go pray and come back when you're done. Please check out the description section of this video to support the channel. Far-right scammer Tommy Robinson is back online flapping his gums, begging for donations and arranging yet another bigot march for the drunken yobs that follow his discriminatory garbage content. A few days ago, Dan Bilzerian, a pro-Palestinian online personality, called out Tommy's grifting for Israel by challenging Robinson's lies about Muslim immigration to the West by stating that Zionists are responsible for the West's open borders and that Israel unquestionably are the aggressors in the Middle East. Tommy then made a video response to not only Dan Bilzerian but to Muslim revert Sneako also. Let's have a look at what Robinson had to say while Sneako responded to it.
There's one thing sympathising to Islam, but sitting taking a photo with the Quran, f*** off, Dan. How much you get paid for that? Same as Sneako, same as all you. Yeah? How much money?
All you cuz. Off with your Quran. I did not know that before I came Muslim, how angry people would get from the Quran. When Dan is like for 10 years doing content with girls and doing big parties and alcohol, drugs, like nobody cares. Dan reads the Quran, they lose their minds.
Qatar or Dubai or Saudi funded you whilst you throw the accusations of, oh, you're getting paid for that.
We've seen you next to IDF soldiers. We've seen you with your Israeli sponsors. But the reason he gets so angry is because he's Mossad funded.
Sitting with the Quran, the book that hates you, like some scholar. You sausage, you absolute div.
What are these British insults? Like, they're lucky to have this accent because you could just say stuff and it sounds bad.
Absolute wrong'un, man.
You absolute wronger. You sausage. He's just saying breakfast food. You scrambled eggs. You this pancake in it.
All influencers now are being influenced with money.
You waffle.
Iranian, Saudi, Qatari.
He's just saying countries. I've never been to Qatar. I know like 2 Iranians. And you know what's funny? If Saudi said, hey, you're promoting Islam, you're doing a good job, I think I would take it because you just lose. You get banned from platforms. You get so many enemies. You trigger people. You're limited with content. You can't do gambling. If they offered and said, hey, great job. Here's some oil money for your work, I'm taking it.
Dan, who's Armenian, so his whole family were massacred in genocide by Islamic supremacists, is now holding up the book of the Islamic supremacists. You mug. They probably quoted that
You
book.
mug. You waffle. You muffin.
Sneako made a valid point. When Dan Bilzerian was portraying a destructive lifestyle of women, intoxicants and materialism, satanic individuals like Robinson loved him. But as soon as Dan picks up the Quran and switched his focus to God, all of a sudden these genocide-supporting devils have a problem with him. Apart from Sneako making fun of Tommy's corny butchering of the English language, the brother was right to call the projection Robinson uses to desperately deflect away from the fact he is on Israel's payroll by accusing Muslim content creators or anyone who has the humility to simply speak against Israel eliminating kids in the Middle East as being funded by Arab nations. The irony is, some of the Arab countries Tommy mentioned are actually allies of Israel. Come on, Tommy, I know you've snorted and drank most of your brain cells away, but think before you speak, you simpleton. Tommy continued with this line of false accusations, again taking issue with Dan exploring the Quran and publicly showing respect to Islam as a religion, and even brought Dan's mother, sister and wife into the equation, speaking about them being raped. Dan responded to shameless grifter Robinson by stating that he has received no financial incentive and that he has in fact lost money speaking up against the evil Zionist entity. Dan also stated the reason he considers the Quran to be true is because of the false propaganda that the untrustworthy mainstream media and corrupt politicians desperately push against Islam. All of this back and forth prompted Sneako and Dan Bilzerian to get in touch and set up a debate between Dan and Tommy on Adin Ross's platform.
I set this up last night and I'm going to give this to Adin. Maybe I'll cross stream it, but I think it's better on Adin's platform anyway. Dan Bilzerian has agreed to debate our good friend Tommy Robinson, who's been saying I'm paid by Saudi and Iran and all this. I was on the phone with Dan Bilzerian last night. They could do it on Piers Morgan, but I think Adin's stream is bigger. So I'll help him moderate that. I know Tommy has like some choice things to say about me, but I'm going to be a neutral moderator.
Wait, that's actually putting W's and Yo's.
This is huge. This is huge. Dan Bilzerian crushed Patrick by David. So they're opposites. Tommy Robinson is going to be on the side of the Zionists, and Dan Bilzerian is going to decide on like pro-Palestine. And they have some disagreements. They kind of have some beef and going back and forth about Islam and stuff because Dan Bilzerian's reading Quran. There's a lot to discuss. So, yeah, Tommy, going to be neutral. It's going to be hosted on his platform.
Is Tommy pro-Israel or pro-Palestine?
Pro-Israel.
He is, okay.
Yeah.
Tommy, I got you. I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke.
It's Jew and a Muslim, so it's not going to be...
I'm also... Yeah, you know what? It's a Jew and a Muslim, and moderating is a Jew and a Muslim.
As you saw from what Sneako said, Dan Bilzerian did not shy away from the challenge to debate Tommy Robinson, and Sneako even said despite his issues with Tommy, he would be a neutral moderator for the debate on Adin's stream in the interest of fairness. And even after the debate was announced, Tommy continued to talk tough online. Take a look.
It's easy to hate Israel. No one wants to kill you. No one's saying shit, yeah? To talk against the Qur'an, to talk against Islam, Dan, big brave Dan, yeah? You won't walk down the street the way you do, yeah? Because you'll have people want to confront you, right? That's when you're not a sheep. When you stand up for something and people want to kill you for it, yeah? No one wants to kill you for chatting shit about Israel. There's no risk in that, you pussies. In fact, it's easy. Get loads of likes. You don't have to walk down the street facing a barrage of violence. But then, when people do stand up to the ideology that wishes to oppress, subjugate and you, massacre your women, then when people do, it's easy to attack them as well.
Tommy is a dirty little barefaced liar. It's not easy to talk against Israel. You will get shadow banned, demonetized, and face threats to your life. Candace Owens is a prime example of this, where even as a Christian neutral with a straightforward anti-war stance, her platform has been hindered and threats have been made against her and her family's lives. And as far as Tommy's false claim that talking against the Quran holds the threat of people wanting to confront those that do such things, Tommy holds marches in London consisting of thousands of such individuals that are anti-Muslim. Add to that, countless Islamophobes online are making money for openly disrespecting Islam and Muslims and pushing Israeli propaganda. They face no violence or even censorship. And notice how everything he said about Islam in terms of homicide and forced physical intimacy is again nothing but projection. This is not a description of Islam. It is in fact a clear description of Zionism, which we are seeing on a daily basis on a mass scale with our own eyes, and which Muslims are in fact on the receiving end of. And after all of this posturing and high and mighty tough talk, Tommy the coward does what he always does when confronted. He chickens out.
What happened to the debate? Did Tommy Robinson back out?
Yeah, so Dan was down, Tommy backed out. Why? I don't even know about this Tommy guy. I don't even know why. He backed out, yeah.
Well, basically, you don't know the backstory. I think some of the chat might know, but he's like one of the biggest Islam haters in the world. And he doesn't like real confrontation. He likes to talk behind his phone and stir up drama and riots and then runs away when the time comes. It would have been a good debate. Dan Bilzerian is a good opponent for him. His excuse was that he wanted to do it in person. He can't even come to America.
He's banned?
Yes. And he yells about illegal immigration. He cannot come to this country.
Wait, how does somebody get banned from like coming to America? I don't even understand.
Certain felons are not allowed to come here, and I think he tried to come here on an expired visa or something.
Gotcha.
He's done 3 years in jail. It's an interesting story.
Gotcha.
Like Sneako said, Tommy Robinson is an Islamophobic scammer that stirs up hatred from behind a screen to con his followers out of donation money and to promote his grift marches. Adin's reaction to finding out Tommy Robinson is an immigrant fraudster was hilarious. And of course Sneako was right about Tommy being a scaredy cat when it comes to real life confrontation.
What do you need? Say something then. Go on. Yeah, I know, man. I'm lucky to from that, Rob.
That's the thing with these online anti-Muslim scammers. Everything they represent, they project onto others. We are in a time where Muslims around the world are being wiped out in tens of thousands and struggling to defend themselves. We're talking about innocent men, women and children. And these self-righteous, evil, arrogant, ignorant individuals have the gall to call Muslims the aggressors while they lace their pockets pushing Zionist propaganda. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect the ummah and bring justice to the wrongdoers. Thank you for watching. Make sure to join my free Telegram group via the link in the description, where we as Muslims can speak freely and without censorship about issues like this. And remember to like, subscribe and become a channel member for access to exclusive content. Until next time, inshallah, Jazakallah khair.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah.